It is Friday, July 8th in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot.
And we are back with our three favorite picks of the day. We've got our favorite game pick, player prop, and no run first inning coming your guys' way.
As always, guys, just do us a real quick favor, especially if you're new. Go down and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us grow this community. Austin and I can't do it without you guys. And it's Friday. I mean, what better time than Friday? Good vibes only. We're going to win some money today.
Absolutely. Let's enter the weekend making some money. Now, we swept on Wednesday. Thursday wasn't as kind to us. A 1-2 day. Red Sox, oh, brother. They had an error that not only gave up the 6 run. I mean, they scored 5 runs in the first 5. And they didn't end up covering the first the run line. Not much you can do about there. Braves team total, thanks for stranding 150 base runners. But like Nerfy Nation bounce back. Astros Royals cashing that one with ease. And our parlay of the day cashes as well. So not the Red Sox hurt us there, but at least they got us back some coin here. Plus 1.5, and then Dodgers minus 1.5 in a sweaty game as the Cubs are trying to backdoor that spread. So if you aren't checking out our parlay of the day, they are always on OddsJam. Definitely go check them out. I don't believe it's been updated yet, but it should be on OddsJam. The link is in the description. We have a couple new All-Stars. We appreciate the All-Stars coming out and supporting us. If you want to support us, click that join button on the channel. It only costs $2.99 a month, and you get to wave the Nerfy Nation flag with us. We've got a couple new ones, Marquette and Stephanie. We appreciate you guys joining us. And we have a couple rejoins, Elijah, Arian, and It's Young Lee. Thank you guys all so much for supporting the channel. We really do appreciate it. But Logan, without further ado, what do you got for the people today?
Yeah, we're going to a first 5 pick, right? The first 5 picks are fun to me. And today I'm picking one that will not be very popular with you guys in the comments. I'm already predicting it, right? Marlins versus Mets. I'm taking the fish. Plus a half. Yes, the Marlins. Minus 110 odds currently on FanDuel is the best value. As Austin's pulling it up here, right? This one's interesting, right? You got a plus EV bet, right? I love a plus EV bet. Sharper Books have it at minus 114, and so they're kind of in agreement with me on this one that the Marlins do stand a really good chance of covering this half in the first 5. Look, I like plus a half in the first 5. It did not treat us right yesterday, unfortunately, but today, if they tie through 5, we win it. Or if they win outright through 5, we win it. I like the 2 pathways to win right there. It's how baseball works. And the Mets just won 10-0 last night, and they find themselves in a pick'em, right? In a first 5 pick'em in this one. And not full game. But so everyone's just probably rushing to bet Mets. I was looking at this line and I was like, oh, I'm sure the Mets will be pretty juiced. And I was like, minus 110. What the heck's that, right? Especially knowing that Pablo Lopez, his last start at the Mets, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 earned runs. And, back in June 17th, look, I mean, if you look at those numbers, you're like, wow, so they definitely got to Pablo Lopez. The majority of those runs actually did come in the 6th inning. So for what that's worth, he really did implode in the 6th inning. Lopez, in his last 3 starts, 2, 5, and 0 earned runs in those last 3 starts. So you look at those and you're like, pretty solid numbers. In his most recent start versus the Nationals, he had a no-hit bid going through 6 innings pitched on the road. Pablo Lopez, when he's on, right? He's a pitcher I can certainly trust. I know the Mets, lineup is daunting, but what I kind of find surprising, the Mets are only 15th in OPS at home. They used to be a lot higher. Trust me, guys. They used to be like top 5. They've kind of slid back a little bit quietly, right? Coming off a 10-0 game last night, could they be a little bit slow against a really solid pitcher in Pablo Lopez? Absolutely, right? Now, who's pitching for the Mets today? Chris Bassitt, right? He's making his first start since June 25th, so it's been a couple weeks, right? In both of his starts, though, Bassitt lost the first 5 run line to the Marlins. I found that interesting, right? Because, I mean, if you look at it statistically, Bassitt against the Marlins this year, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. So he's given up 3 earned runs in each of those games, and he's lasted pretty long. But it's interesting to know that the Marlins, through 5 can hold their own no matter who they have on the mound. I think they stand a really good chance with Pablo Lopez to hold his side down, and I think they'll get some hits and runs up on Bassitt. Or you know what? If they want to tie 0-0 through 5, I'm okay with that. That would win this bet. Several of the Miami hitters haven't really seen Bassitt too many times, right? Several of them are actually 1 for 3 versus Bassitt, 333. Sanchez, Aguilar, and Cooper, the heart of their order, are hitting about 333 for what that's worth, right? We still have to pull the splits, and I still want to see, is anybody absolutely smoking Chris Bassitt? Not yet, but today we're going to get a lot of production out of the fish today. I like them. I like this one purely based off line reading as well, guys. This shouldn't be a minus 110. If I was leading you guys into a minus 110 Mets trap, I'd feel bad at the end of the day. But I'm trying to be sharp on this one, so you got to respect that one. So that's what I'm rolling with. But Austin, what do you got for your player prop today?
Yeah, we're back with player props. I couldn't fathom seeing that Braves meltdown yesterday, leaving 100 base runners. I can't do that. So today, I'm just going to player prop. I'm taking a guy by the name of Tim Anderson of the Chicago White Sox. Taking his over 1.5 bases, minus 105 on DraftKings. Now, we do see a couple books have this line out. You might see some more roll it out. Now, I do think FanDuel, I'd argue, is probably the sharpest book for these sort of props. And so the fact that they got it at minus 130, I do kind of like that. But let's talk about why we like Anderson. And if you want to go for a little bit of value, go for 2+ hits at plus 140 on FanDuel. Now, Anderson, let's be honest, in a little bit of a slump. Since his return, he's batting like 209 over the last 15 games. And over his last 4 games, 1 for 17, like with 1 single. Now, that base did come yesterday, so he at least got out of the hitless drought he was in, but still, not a great run he's been. He's been in a little bit of a cold front, but that's ending today. Now, Anderson batting 432 versus left-handed pitchers this year with 2 doubles and 2 home runs and 37 plate appearances. It's important that I say left-handed pitcher because today he gets a lefty in Tarik Skubal of the Tigers. Now versus Skubal lifetime, Anderson crushing him. Batting 7 for 13, 539 versus Skubal with 1 single and then 6 extra base hits, 5 doubles and 1 home run. Look, I would love a no sweat bet from Mr. Anderson. I doubt we get it. We never get no sweat bets for player props, but if you can come up in the first half of the bottom half of the first inning and do us some magic, we would absolutely love that. If you look at the pitches Skubal's going to see, I'll put the splits up at the bottom of the screen. You can see he's absolutely crushing all the pitches that Skubal will likely be throwing his way. Tim also is a guy, Mr. Anderson, doesn't really draw a lot of walks, which is something very important. Actually only has a 5th percentile walk percentage. It's a guy that's swinging the bat. I think that's important because I hate losing a player prop when he's just walking all the time. And, it's still good for the White Sox in the long run, but I don't want him to be drawing a walk. We want him to be getting on base via a hit. Now you look at Tim Anderson batting 313 this year. Like I said, the numbers have come down a little bit over the past couple weeks since his return, but still an expected batting average of 324. This is one of the better hitters that's in the MLB. We also look, Tim loves facing the Tigers. He has a career 345 versus Detroit, having 2+ bases in 11 of his last 16 games versus the Tigers. Obviously, he did not have 2+ bases yesterday, so I like the bounce back potential here. Despite being at home, the White Sox, like we know, crush lefties, so they have very good splits versus Tarik Skubal all across the board. So if we do see him get some runs up on Skubal, we could see him get closer to 5 plate appearances. I also don't think Lucas Giolito is worth a minus 170 money line, so we could see Giolito give up some runs. Maybe the Tigers have a chance to win this one. They are winners of 5 straight games. So if we could see the White Sox batting in the 9th inning, sign me up. But I really like Tim Anderson over 1.5 bases. That's my player prop of the day. I'll give you 2 other leans in case you want to look at them. Trevor Story, I kind of lean is under 1.5 bases. Just kind of a hunch, minus 106. I don't really think he should be minus 106 for under 1.5. And then the strikeout prop, I really do like Aaron Ashby over 5.5 strikeouts of the Milwaukee Brewers. I didn't want to put this out because I don't know what the line will be. Only FanDuel is available at the moment. But I do think Aaron Ashby is a pretty good game. Lefties tend to do pretty well against the Pirates. But I'll just be riding with Mr. Tim Anderson over 1.5 bases today. But Logan, you know what time it is. It's Nerfy Nation time. And Nerfy Nation, let's wave those flags. We've been waving them a ton. And I want to bring up this tweet that I tweeted out last night. With Nerfy Nation's on a heater. Won our 8 of our last 2. We were 52-34 on the year. We've been pretty good for Nerfy Nation. That's why they call us Nerfy Nation. But we can't wave these flags and absolutely sell bad info. And I'm old enough, Logan, to remember when we lost 10 of 11 no-run first innings. We had a terrible run back in, I think, the end of May. We had an absolute terrible run. We saw all the comments, but look, we're winning some now, and we're going to hopefully keep winning today because we're going to Reds versus Rays. We're taking the no-run first inning, minus 125 on Caesar Sportsbook. There's a couple others we considered, and maybe Logan can talk about those ones. But you see this one, minus 125 Caesar's the best you're going to get. A couple other books a little bit more juiced. Now, let's talk about this one. On the mound for the Reds, we'll have Mr. Castillo, 8-3 on no-run first innings. Nerfied in 4 of his last 5 starts. We like that. Now, the Rays are a very hit or miss team. This team is either going to put 2 or 3 runs up on you, or they're going to go 1, 2, 3 inning. They're 4th and first inning runs. Like I said, when they score in bunches, and that's fine because it doesn't matter if they score 1 run. Our bet is busted. But we still look Tampa 13th in batting average, 22nd in OPS on the road. I really do think Castillo can get us those first 3 outs. What about the next guy, Logan? I believe he owes us some money.
Yes, you're right on that one, right? It's our boy Shane McClanahan, 11-5 on no-run first innings, pretty solid. But he did Yerfy in his last start. a dagger through our heart. Yes, we remember when he Yurfied against the Blue Jays. He pitched a really great game, but he just gave up a first inning run. It was a little bit fluky. Cincinnati, 13th in OPS versus lefties. They don't hit lefties extremely well, only middle of the pack, right? Cincinnati, 15th in first inning runs. So they're middle of the pack in first inning runs. And you ready for this one, Austin? Yeah, right. Cincinnati hasn't scored a first inning run in 16 straight games. Their last game they scored a first inning run was back in June 21st. Yeah, I'm feeling great, guys. Feeling great. Knock on wood right there. Nerfy Nation, we're fine. We can get through those jinx type stats, or maybe not. But the over under is set to 7.5, right? They're not expecting a ton of runs, right? I think Castillo's going to get us the 3 outs we need, and I think Shane McClanahan's going to get us the 3 outs we need to really cash this bet. Now we did, Austin did kind of mention another one we looked at really hard and we waffled back and forth. St. Louis versus Philadelphia, right? You got Wainwright versus Wheeler, battle of the aces. That one is the most obvious Nerfy on the slate. Austin and I don't want to pick the most obvious Nerfy on the slate because usually the most obvious Nerfy is a Yurfie. That's just usually how it works. We want to pick the second most obvious Nerfy because usually that one stands a little bit better chance. And then I also, I looked at Yankees versus Red Sox. I like the value on that one, right? You got Nestor Cortez pitching in that one. I think Seabold might be able to navigate his order. I do like the value. I think it was plus value. And then for anybody wanting to bet Padres versus Giants, go back to the well last night. You got a low over under in that one. Careful. Blake Snell. He's an enemy of Nerfy Nation. He always melts down in the first inning. It's just what he does. So just be careful on that one. If it's super juiced, I believe it was. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. But it doesn't matter because we're flying the flags again. Nerfy Nation. This is we're the real Nerfy Nation. Sometimes we have some imposters, but you know what? We're Nerfy Nation.
Hopefully we can cash this one. I also kind of liked Pirates versus Brewers, but I don't really want to mess with the Brewers ballpark. That was just a quick fly ball, and that's a home run. But I do think that one stands a chance. It's like I said, Aaron Ashby should pitch pretty well today. But those are going to be our 3 picks of the day. As always, parlay of the day is back, and we're always going to say it at the end. I know some people have some struggles about viewing the parlay on OddsJam. Sometimes their login info and whatnot is messed up, but that's why we say it at the end of the videos. And heck, I'll even put it up on the screen for the people that have watched all the way to 11 minutes and 45 seconds. We're taking White Sox minus 0.5 in the first 5. Hopefully Tim Anderson helps us out with that. We're taking Royals money line. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in. This has been our daily video. We'll be back again tomorrow on Saturday morning, hopefully recapping, bringing out the brooms, waving these flags, doing all the shenanigans that you normally can expect on these daily videos. We appreciate you guys as always. Austin Logan. We'll catch you in the next one.